Hi guys, my name is Tim, co-founder at Algonaut. We have just launched the 1.2 update for Atlas, and this adds several highly requested features in a new advanced panel and settings screen. I'm going to cover these new features and show you how Atlas is now one of the most fun, fast, and inspiring drum plugins out there. Let's get into it. The advanced panel provides the controls for fine-tuning a drum sample. You can open the panel by clicking the advanced icon next to the sample name. Once the panel is open, you can swap between any drum slot so you can edit multiple samples quickly. The first thing you're going to see in the advanced panel is a big waveform showing you the shape of the sample. Clicking this waveform will also trigger it. The little circle handles are used to shape the volume envelope. By dragging the bottom left and bottom right handle, you can set the start and end position for that sample. This is useful for removing unwanted silence at the start or to isolate the first sound in a multi-hit sample, like a fill. The top handles change the fade in and fade out values. This is useful for controlling transients or shaping the tail of the sample. Remember that the fade in and fade out controls can be used along with a shape knob. Top left you have a fixed velocity button. Turning this on will ignore incoming velocity and set it to full. This can be handy if you've recorded in patterns with unintended velocity. On the left side is a toggle switch for one-shot mode and gate mode. Setting the sample to one-shot mode will mean when you trigger the sample, it will play out no matter how long you hold the MIDI note. Gate mode activates a disabled release knob and takes into account how long you hold the MIDI note for. You can use the release to change how long the audio fades out after releasing the trigger note. Top right we have phase flip, which is useful if some samples such as kicks and snares are not layering nicely and are cancelling each other out. Lastly, we have 5 choke groups that can be selected. Setting 2 samples with the same choke group means that the most recently triggered sample will cut the previous one off. To close the advanced panel, either click the advanced icon button again or click somewhere in the map. The settings screen can be opened by clicking the settings button on the bottom right of the UI. This shows some useful settings for defaults and mapping certain functions to MIDI notes. You can set the default drum kit settings for layout, root note, and the category configurations when you press new kit. These are applied every time you open a new instance of Atlas, and it means you don't have to keep setting them each time you load it. The MIDI mapping functions can be configured to let you trigger certain actions on the UI with MIDI notes. This can be useful for handy workflow shortcuts or even performances. For each mapping, you can type in the MIDI key you want to trigger that action with. So in this case, for new kit, I'm going to set it to B6. You might want to map these an octave below the root key for the drum kit so they're always within reach, but it's up to you. Atlas now fully supports the NOVATION LAUNCHPAD with a customized layout that pairs one-to-one with user mode 1 on the hardware. You can find the layout down here with the other layouts. Selecting this layout will rearrange the drum slots so they match the 4x8 2-column layout found on the LAUNCHPAD, and also sets the root key to C1. This means with the Atlas channel armed in Ableton, you can use the LAUNCHPAD session view to play and change clips, and then use user mode 1 to directly trigger and record samples. Head to our channel to find the official video on using LAUNCHPAD with Atlas. And that's a summary of the 1.2 update for Atlas. We have many more updates coming to Atlas shortly, so stay tuned. You can download Atlas and try it for yourself at our website at www.algonaut.tech. Thanks for watching.